200 something days ago, I started on this crazy journey of trying to revive my international modeling career. Now, for context, 10 years ago, I started modeling and I was having a great old time. I was working with incredible brands like ASOS, Boohoo, JD Sports, all the kind of brands that I was a customer of. I was now modeling for, and I was living an incredible life. I was 21 years old. I started when I was about 18. I quit my bar job working in Leeds to move to London and pursue this full-time thing in fashion. And everything was going great. I was loving my life. I was out my comfort zone. I was sufficiently challenged, but I was loving every single step of it. I didn't know what the future held, but I was just sort of embracing it fearlessly. And that all came crashing down when I went on TV when I was 21 years old. I went on Love Island, UK, and then I went on a series of other TV shows shortly after that. And I got caught up in this TV reality world, which, for all of its benefits and incredible experiences and things to be super proud and excited about, it also tore my modeling career away from me unexpectedly. I didn't plan this part of the journey where all of my modeling clients like ASOS and Boohoo and Selfridges and Harvey Nichols and Gymshark, they all turned around to my agency at the time and said, "We loved working with Danny. He's a great model, but we can't be working with him now. He's a TV character personality. That's just not what we're looking for." Models, at least the kind of modeling that I was doing, were kind of anonymous. This is sort of pre-content creator, influencer era. And so models didn't have big platforms and didn't have public notoriety and all that stuff. So completely against the plan, I lost all of my clients and had to sort of rebuild myself. This was never the strategy. This was never the game plan. And so for the years that followed, I tried other things. I had other opportunities and I went down different paths, but nothing really felt the same. I didn't have that same excitement and alignment. And don't get me wrong, like I had some incredible opportunities along the way. Like me and my friends had our own TV show. I started fitness coaching. I started doing things which I was passionate about and I did enjoy, but it just never quite felt the same. And there was a huge part of me which felt like, honestly, like it wasn't fair. Like I'd lost the thing that really made me and gave me a sense of purpose and direction. And I'd lost that and it was never the plan. And I felt like it wasn't right. And so fast forward a few years, I'm living in Dubai. I'm building a business, but I just don't feel aligned. And I started to feel a bit directionless, started to feel a bit lost. And I knew I was looking for a sense of purpose. I just didn't know where to find it. Now, I'd completely, by this point, turned my back on modeling. I'd completely sort of surrendered to the idea that that was in the past and it was never going to come back. But then I had a real heart-to-heart with Becky out here in Dubai. And she basically convinced me to try and resurrect this career. Like, it's been so many years. You never know what can happen. If you commit to it, what's the worst that could happen? At the very least, you'll get your sense of direction back and you'll lose body fat. You'll start taking care of yourself better. You'll feel like you're working towards a goal. You'll feel like you've got that sense of direction. And so even if the outcome doesn't happen, at least you'll get that train moving again. Because honestly, I felt a bit confused and lost and I didn't know what to do. And so when I started this journey a couple of 100 days ago, I made the commitment to post every single day on social media and document my journey towards resurrecting my modeling career and bringing back that success that I did see when I was just starting out. And I never could have predicted how those first couple of 100 days would go. Within a couple of months, I'd lost the body fat. So I'd lost around 10 kilos. I had reached out to agencies. I'd sent in casting videos. I'd done all the things that an aspiring model needs to do. And it was about 3 months in that I got a message from a New York model scout who saw my profile on social media and said, "I think you're great." And to cut a very long story short, he then signed me and I quickly became signed in America, in New York, in LA. And the path is now there to be signed in Europe and South Africa and other parts of the world too. And this mission basically is on the verge of being realized, which is incredible. I went out to LA, I did some work out there, I came back to Dubai, then I went back to New York and did a bunch of incredible things in New York, and it was all just like going crazily well. And I never could have predicted how well it would have gone, especially not so quickly. And it's clear that if I fully commit to this path, that although I can't put a time frame on it, I'm pretty certain that success is on the other end of it. Now, here's the part that I'm struggling with. All of that sounds great, and it is great. And like I said, I am fairly certain that once I'm 100% committed to something, I will get what I want. My problem is that the past couple of months, especially, I've had a real split focus, and I've actually not been fully committed. And that's just affected how I've shown up on social media. It's affected how I've shown up in the modeling world. And I'm actually trying to build a business alongside this. So yes, I'm committed to this modeling goal, but my day-to-day life doesn't actually look like pursuing modeling. My day-to-day life here in Dubai is actually sat on my laptop building a business. Me and my other half, Becky, we co-founded a retreats company called Rewired, and we host international retreats. And that's a real... A pigeon has just flown on the balcony and is watching me make this video. Bugger off. Oh my God. Maybe he's just going to... Oh no, he's off. Okay, cool. Anyway, and so my attention has been completely split. I've had a split focus. Anyone who's building a business or who has got a business off the ground and they're out of the building phase knows that it requires 100% attention, focus, and energy. And whilst I've been pursuing this modeling thing, my business just hasn't been getting that, quite frankly. And I know in my heart of hearts, the only way that I'm going to get this business to where I want it to be is if it gets my 100% undivided attention for a sustained period of time. In the exact same way that I would have become successful in the modeling industry. Like, becoming a successful model requires undivided attention. Oh my gosh, when I was in America, I was living and breathing the lifestyle of a model, and I had the identity and I'd embodied the character of a full-time professional model. Now, when you're in that headspace and you're doing the actions and you've embodied that identity for days on end, weeks on end, months on end, success is guaranteed. I can promise you that. You will get there. And that's what I started to see in my modeling path. Where I feel conflicted is that what matters more to me and where I see my future and what I'm genuinely more long-term passionate about is the business I'm building, is the project that we're working on with Rewired. Like, we've got Bali in a couple of days. I can't release the next location, but the next retreat we've already confirmed after that. And we're already planning 2027, and that just requires like so much mental energy, which is all good and it's all exciting, but I have to be real with myself. I have to be honest with myself. And that's what this video is. It's just a bit of honesty. Like, my commitment has been split. My energy has been split. My focus has been split these past few months. So long as you're committed to one path, that's fine. But I've been committed to two. And neither path is getting the results that I want. Like, my modeling is slowed down whilst I've tried to be more committed to my business. But then my business isn't where it needs to be because I've got one eye on the modeling industry, and I'm thinking like, maybe I've got to go back to America in a couple of months. Maybe after America, I've got to go to South Africa. Maybe after that, I've got to go here and there. And what if this client rings me? What if I'm not in shape and I have to be in shape all the time? Like, it's crazy. It seems like modeling is just this, like, you just rock up and because you're pretty, you can be successful. No way. It's a full-time commitment that drains your brain 24/7 because it's super competitive. And the only way to succeed is if you're in the right spaces all the time, you're keeping on top of yourself 24/7, you're always taking care of yourself, you're always in prime health and physical appearance, and you have to just be in the right circles, in the right areas all the time. I can't tell you enough, like, when I was in America living and breathing modeling, I was there, I was present, I was in it, and I knew that my success was inevitable. The minute I got back to Dubai, it was like out of sight, out of mind. And I just like took the hat off and the identity just shifted. And that's good in the sense of it means that I'm kind of adaptable, but success requires you to keep that hat on permanently. Like you have to be in it and committed to it. And I've just been doing this thing for the past few months where I'm committed for a little while and then my attention shifts to some other project and then I take the hat off and put a new hat on. And on the surface, that can even look like I'm doing well. On the surface, it can sort of look like I'm doing all these cool things. But inside, the truth is that I'm not as successful as I want to be in either lane. And I'm the one who suffers because I know that I'm not as committed as I could be. I lose some of that self-trust because I know that neither path is getting the attention that it deserves. And only I suffer because I'm the one not building the life that I want to build, quite frankly. And I had to just have a really hard conversation with myself. And I was sat in the pool a couple of days ago with Becky, explaining all of this, explaining how I feel conflicted, explaining how I feel torn, explaining how I know in my heart of hearts, the only way you succeed in business is if you go all in. You have to be fully committed to it. It can't be treated like a side project, like a side hustle, like something you just do on your days off. Like that business never succeeds. The only people I know who are successful in business are the ones who live and breathe it day in, day out for an unknown amount of time, and then one day it pays off. I'm at this point in my life where I'm not even doing that, and I'm pouring into modeling half the time, and somehow expecting the business to take off and be successful. It's like that. I know in my heart of hearts that's just ridiculous and ludicrous. And so, yes, I have these incredible opportunities, and modeling's amazing, and you get some incredible experiences out of it. But when I look at my life over the next 50, 60, hopefully years, the only path that makes sense for me is pouring into my business. Modeling, although it's great when it's there, isn't something I can depend on and build my life around. Which is crazy because, like I say, I started this journey feeling lost and directionless. I started this journey needing something to get me going. And modeling was that. Like, it really was that. It gave me the focus. It gave me the discipline. It gave me a North Star. And I will never not be grateful for that. But now I'm at this point where I'm finding it hard, really hard, to, like I said, anyone who's tried to start anything entrepreneurial knows how long it is, especially in the beginning. And so I'm looking at this mountain of work that needs to get done every day. And even if I had 24 hours in a day where I didn't sleep and just did the work, it's still a lot. And I'm at this point where I'm not only am I sleeping and having, time in the gym and trying to do other stuff, like I'm not obsessed with my business. I'm also having one eye on modeling and America and what might happen in that lane over there. And so it's split attention, it's split focus. Like I read this book by someone called Greg McKeown. Many years ago, I read this book. It's called Essentialism. I'll put a link in the bio to this video. And the main takeaway of that point of the book is you will get so much further in life if you learn to periodize your goals and learn to have single priorities. Like it's okay to want to achieve multiple things. It's not like you only have to have one goal for your whole life. But what's not productive and what slows everybody down is trying to achieve everything all at once. You're trying to be a model whilst run a business, whilst be in elite shape and go to the gym 5-6 times a week and sleep and recover, and have a great social life. You're trying to do it all at once, and everything suffers. And if the things you're trying to serve are reflective of your values, then actually one layer deeper than that, you suffer, which is how I've been feeling. Like I have been feeling like I'm suffering with it all lately. Like these things that I value aren't getting the energy they deserve, and therefore I'm not getting the outcomes that they deserve. And I know this the entire time. And then I feel like less than and like I'm failing, and it's not a good feeling. I know in my heart of hearts, the world wants to put work-life balance on a pedestal, but it's not attainable. There's no such thing as balance. There's only harmony. There's only alignment. If you're working 60, 70 hours a week on what feels right, you won't be balanced, but you will be aligned. And for me, that's attainable. That's something worth fighting for. The past couple of months, I've not felt aligned. I felt out of harmony. I've got one eye on this, one eye on that. Nothing's getting the attention it deserves. My quality of work is nowhere near where it could be. And it's time for me to just make the decision and make the commitment. So this isn't me saying I'm never going to model again. This isn't me saying I'm turning my back on the industry. But this is me saying that I'm making a commitment to my business because it's the very least it deserves. And whatever happens in the future happens. Like, I can't control the future. I can't predict it. Like, I never would have guessed 200 days ago that I'd be here making this video. So who knows where I'm going to be 200 days from now. I don't want to put any restrictions or limitations on myself or on my future. But the truth is that I can't keep doing what I've been doing the past couple of months, which is, by the way, I've been going ghost on social media. I found this game easy, posting every day, when I was only doing the one thing. I was just modeling, just documenting the modeling journey, and everything was pointing in the same direction. And I felt clear, I had clarity, I felt aligned, it felt easy. Showing up felt easy. The past couple of months, showing up has felt really hard because I felt split and torn and divided. And that's just not a good place to operate from. So this video is my commitment to taking the pressure off of myself to chase everything all at the same time. When I think about going all in on Rewired, like, it excites me, it fires me up. Like, how much more I could get done if I had an extra, not just X number of hours per week, but also just the mental load and the weight off of my shoulders of knowing, like, I've not got one eye on the modeling industry and trying to be ready and trying to be, like, front of the queue for when opportunities arise. Like, I want to just act like it's just gone, like it's not there. And if something comes up, it comes up, great. If it fits my life and it feels right, I'll accept it, I'll take it on board. But I'm not actively pursuing it, which, it feels hypocritical, it feels ungrateful to say this, given where I was just a year ago. But I have to be real with myself, and this is just me being real. I know what I want, and I know that I can't get what I want if I keep doing what I'm doing, and so something just has to change. If you're trying to build anything, whether it be a business or anything for that matter, you'll know that going from 0 to 1 is the hardest bit. Getting it off the ground when nobody knows what it is, nobody believes in it, it's just you and your vision. That's the time when you have to pour the most amount of effort and energy and time into it. And I know, like, that's the entry fee. I'm looking at the things I want, and there's an entry fee that I've just been unprepared to pay up until this point. You want to come inside? Here's how much it costs. And that, I'm looking at my goals like, damn, I want that. I want it. And up until this point, I've just not been prepared to pay it. And there's nothing I can't stand more than someone who understands the costs, the trade-offs, and is just complaining about it. Like, either pay the price or chase different goals, right? Like, that would be my advice to somebody else. Like, if you're unhappy, you're miserable, you're suffering with this thing, either pay the price, suck it up, or just change goals. You should just want different things. And quite frankly, I know what I want. I don't want to change my goals. I just have to suck it up and pay the price. And for me right now, that price is having so much attention and focus on becoming a model and reviving this modeling career. To be honest, the main reason I started this journey was to get my sense of direction back and get that sense of purpose back. It wasn't necessarily for the outcome of being a model. Like, I, quite frankly, have done everything I ever dreamed of being able to do as a model. Not only this time round, but first time round. Like, I'd done London Fashion Week. I traveled the world. I'd worked in America. I'd worked for ASOS and Boohoo and these huge brands I used to love as a kid. And so I already exceeded all my expectations in that industry. There's nothing left for me to do that would make me feel extra proud of myself. I already got everything that I needed to get from it. And I guess more importantly, the industry is just a vehicle. The same way business is a vehicle. Like, I have a mission to become the best version of myself and hopefully inspire other people to do the same. That's what I care about. Like, I can't help but do that. That just pours out of me, whether I'm on YouTube, whether I'm speaking to my little brother on the phone yesterday, talking about girl problems, like whether I'm creating content for Instagram, whether I'm modeling, whether I'm building the business, whether I'm on a retreat. The mission's the same, like be the best version of myself and inspire others to do the same. Modeling was a vehicle that helped me do that. This is just me changing vehicle to a vehicle which feels more right, to a vehicle which feels more aligned, and to a vehicle which can help me fulfill that mission at scale. Because that's the other thing about business, like there's no limit on it. There's no ceiling. There's no saying how big or small it can get, really. But as a model, it's always going to be just me, just trying to serve me. And again, like when I was 21, that's great. When I was 18, 19, that's great. But now at 28, 29 soon, the life I want to live in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, there's only one vehicle that's going to help me achieve all of that, and that's business. So I don't know if this is just like one big waffle, one big rant that makes no sense to anybody, but at the very least, it helps me to express it and articulate it. So I hope you found some value in this. I hope you took something away from this. I guess my parting message is, if you want anything, you have to go all in. And I've known this as a truth. This is why it's been tearing me apart. I've known this as a fundamental truth of life for as long as I can remember, which is why that book resonated with me many, many years before it even became applicable to me. Like it resonated because I knew it to be a truth. You can have anything you want as long as you're prepared to pay the price. That's it. And so pay the price or change the goal. I don't want to change the goal, so I'm paying the price. Anyway, we fly to Bali tomorrow for our next retreat, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm mainly excited. We've completely raised the bar since Egypt. What these guys are in for, oh my gosh. Like, we keep the itinerary hidden as part of our experience. They don't fully know what they've signed up for, but it's going to blow them away, and I just cannot wait. My camera just overheated. It is 42 degrees here in Dubai, and apparently you can't sit outside for more than 20 minutes with a camera filming, otherwise it will just overheat. Anyway, I hope you took some value from this video. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I think more than anything, I just needed to express and articulate that, because I felt stuck with posting content, and I felt stuck with showing up, and that's just not a good place to operate from. You can't build a business if you're struggling to show up consistently. And so the main thing for me was putting a pin in this, making a decision, making a commitment, and just keeping it moving, which I guess is all you can do. I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen next, but what I can do is make the kind of decisions to help me keep moving, because in business and in life, like, that is just the main thing. You just got to keep moving. When I feel stuck, nothing else that's good can come from feeling stuck. There's a difference between being stuck and being reflective and being introspective, but I've just felt stuck, and that's just not a good place to be in. So I hope that you took something from this video. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. I'd love to hear from you, and see you in the next video.